Consider this review a PSA of sorts. If you are a thrash metal band who doesn't really change up your sound for the betterment of music evolution, and you see Lars outside of your home studio or garage where you practice, do yourself a favor and fucking run!
Initializing. Welcome to Metal Robot Reviews.
Welcome to the Metal Robot Reviews channel. I'm your host, Tom McKay, and my god, I need to stop eating before bed. Look at what happened to me. That is just sick and wrong. So Turn Cold is a crossover thrash metal band from the lovely town of COVID Quarantine. Now, if you've seen previous videos of mine, you know by now I have a particular love-hate relationship with the thrash metal genre. I don't hate it by any means. I don't think it sucks. After all, some of the biggest and best metal bands that many can name come from that style. But at the same time, nowadays it can be classified as dated bar rock that's heavier than AC/DC, but also somehow allows complete idiots to run the lyrics, don't at me. Granted, the genre has lasted over 40 years for a reason, mostly due to staying power because some bands have decided that it's better to reinvent the wheel, try something new, bring on some new intrigue into the genre. At the same time though, plenty of bands just copy what happened in the past, what worked in the past, and do not do a goddamn thing. They just hope for the best with no creative identity, no creative intrigue, other than a shitty high-pitched nasally voice. You know, funnily enough, they kind of remind me of that dude who's in his 60s, just wearing leather or jean jackets, drinking beer and refusing to let go of the good old days because it's just too good and everything nowadays sucks. Shit, is that gonna be me in 40 years? But okay, Turn Cold did just form, and they did just release their debut EP, Break Your Faith, so it is possible I might be overthinking this a little bit. After all, like I said, thrash metal, when done right, can create the most powerful, visceral, and razor-sharp metal in the entire genre, especially something that could be uniquely their own. Turn Cold could be one of those very few thrash metal bands in the modern day. Granted, with influences like Metallica, Slayer, Cro-Mags, while good influences, does not bode well for that argument. But hey, my job is just to make a dumbass assumption and pray to the elder gods that I'm wrong. So, can this album do that? Can Break Your Faith break my preconceived notions about the genre? Well, let's not waste much more time, and let's get straight into it. We start the album with a bang coming in faster than a teenager who thinks he can pull out when it's made pretty clear right out of the gate this is going to be a thrash metal album through and through. No joke, the title track, without even getting into the rest of the album, right away is going to tell you whether you are going to like this album or whether you're going to chuck it out of the car like a donut with a dead wasp in it. Seriously, this song has everything you'd want from a modern day thrash metal album straight out of the DeLorean, with Brett's guitar turned all the way up in the gain, a decently mixed bass from Twitch, oh the irony, loud and abrasive drums from Matt, and Sten, a vocalist who's screaming higher than a Girl Scout who couldn't sell the last cookie. I'm sorry, sweetie. Next year, I promise you'll get it right. In the meantime, you're a disappointment. I poke fun, I'm kidding. After all, I am having a pretty decently good time so far. Is it unique in any way? Not really. In fact, I do feel like they are playing the Let's Be Slayer and hope we don't get caught card at the moment. But at the same time, I can't say I'm having a bad time with this heavy thrash metal face-melting journey I'm currently on. Granted, my face is still currently on my face, sorry to all who disappointed, but let's see if anything changes as we move past what is arguably the shortest solo I've ever fucking heard. Okay, I know that wasn't the actual solo, but that was still shorter than the attention span of most 5-year-olds when you're trying to explain current events to them. Or Redditors typing "come" in every thread. Really, there's no difference between the two. The actual solo is fine, but it's nothing remarkable. It's just a collection of notes being played as fast as possible to show that our guitar boy here has fast fingers. Ladies, first song out of the way, and so far this feels no different than most thrash metal bands playing faster than me finding out there's beer at her place. And really, that's not really much to write home about. Is it bad? No, but it's, again, nothing really too impressive. So of course, Delusion Solution comes on next, and it's Injustice for All, though at least this time they did learn to tie up the drummer and not let him make important decisions.
Come on guys, this was 45 hours ago, but now it's not. Oh, I just want to help.
They're seriously not even hiding the Metallica influence anymore, especially around the 50-second mark when the dual leads come in. Seriously, be careful guys, otherwise Lars will stop by and you won't like why. Granted, any reason Lars is there can't be a good one, but still, that reason fucking sucks. Okay, look, I'm not saying that bands can't take elements from their favorite artists and tweak them a bit to fit their sound. After all, that's what being a musician is about. But when it's made pretty clear that you're just taking elements and doing nothing to change them up other than maybe the movement of a couple of notes, then what you end up getting is a sound with no identity to it. Nothing to differentiate you from everybody else. And in the end, you just become another copycat who's barely even trying. And yeah, things don't really change that much when we get into the final track, The End of My Rope, either. Man, Brett, you really love jerking that whammy bar like it's your quarantine night. I mean, we've all been there, right, fellas? Maybe you shouldn't use that hand. Up top, come on. Wait, I'm ambidextrous. Changing the subject, as feared, there really wasn't a whole lot of anything unheard of with this album. It was bad to the point where I couldn't think of anything to talk about with this album. I sat in front of the Word document, just staring at a blank Word document for like a good solid hour. Then, of course, I got distracted by Netflix, opened up YouTube in between, got horny, jerked off with both hands, what up, sat back down, got distracted after an hour, went up to the fridge, grabbed a drink, and sat back down again, writing this very long and weird tangent about how I spend my days. And seriously, I need to get out. I'm disgusted. The point is, I'm having a hard time talking about an album that gave me 3 songs worth of Metallica and Slayer ripoffs. With Break Your Faith, the thrash metal tropes are all over the place. The only difference between this EP and other thrash metal albums out there is the order in which those tropes appear and which words, for the most part, are being used in the lyrics. I was joking about the And Justice for All reference earlier in the video, but at the same time, I really wasn't. You could have slot Delusion Solution anywhere into that album and no one would have been the wiser. Well, okay, the sudden presence of bass and a competent drummer with decent tones would have been a dead giveaway, but still, my point still stands. Okay, I should not be so harsh on these guys. After all, this is their very first EP, they're only now deciding to put themselves out there, and I do at the very least appreciate that these guys were willing to try anything during what is arguably one of the shittiest times during the 21st century. I even discussed this on earlier episodes of the Metal Robot podcast, link in the description, where I encouraged people to get out there, put themselves out there, and make music during that time. Honest to God, truth be told, I didn't hate this EP. I know it seems like I did, but I didn't. Was it great? Not really. It wasn't really anything unique either, but I can't help but feel like this EP could be the start of a promising career in the thrash metal genre. But overall, while this EP wasn't horrendous, thank fucking God, it still shows that these guys have a long way to go before they can truly make something that is 100% wholeheartedly theirs within this genre. But with some obvious performance chop that these guys have, I do feel like they can hone their skills and their craft to form something that will up the ante next time around. The only thing I can really encourage to these guys if they are watching is to please go beyond the tropes, expand beyond the stereotypes. Try to spend more time with the songs to mold them and sculpt them into something new. Try to do that. And when that happens, I look forward to what will happen the next time around. 10 out of 15, because it's been 10 days and my hands smell like salty paint. Send help! So that was Turn Cold's Break Your Faith. What did you think of the EP? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Are you currently jerking off because God caught the Delta variant? If so, let me know in the comments. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed, then be sure to hit the like button, and if you're new here, hit that subscribe button, ring that fucking bell, and I'll see you in the mosh pit next time. Have a good night.